Recognize Representative Latimer for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In deference to the time and my other colleagues, one very simple question, and I'd like each of you to answer it. Can you identify 2 or 3 specific things that you'd like to see the United States do to address this?
Sorry, to
address this problem, one or two or three specific things that we can do, United States government, to address the problem that you've identified.
Yeah, I think first, condition the funding, right, to actually really press and set benchmarks for LAF performance. Lebanon has a tendency to kick the can down the road, defer difficult decisions. They did so with disarmament in the south. I fear they will do so in the north, and every day Hezbollah continues its attempts to rearm. It's necessary to have some sort of timeline and benchmarks with this. The other is to, I think that would be a good start. It's always hard to go first. But no, listen, I think the conditioning of the funding is most important. I think it's also important to really, I think, clean house within the LAF and the other security forces in the country. You know, Hezbollah, this disarmament is being disrupted by collaborators, by collusion, by deconfliction. It's hard enough to do this work without being undermined from the inside. And I think the U.S. Has insight into the LAF. Israel has insight into the LAF. The LAF should take it upon itself. I'm not talking about Baathification here. What I'm talking about is actually...
With no disrespect intended, I want to make sure everybody answers it. I have no other questions in my 5 minutes. So we have conditioned funding and cleaned up the LAF. Okay, thank you.
Same question?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, for everybody.
So I agree with David, definitely. I would add 3 more, which is the financial warnings and sanctions that I talked about earlier. Definitely issue for the Treasury to issue advisories and sanctions against corrupt politicians, cash companies that are helping Hezbollah with the cash flow, et cetera, et cetera. It's all in my written testimony. I can go further later. But to make sure I go to the second one, the judiciary reform. For me, this is one of the most important reforms that can be made in Lebanon because, one, it holds Hezbollah accountable. If the judiciary is reformed, then the judiciary system in Lebanon can hold Hezbollah accountable, protect dissident and free speech, and make sure that those who are helping Hezbollah with their shadow economy are held accountable. But last but not least, there's a very rare opportunity in Lebanon today to make sure, very rare opportunity today to actually start the peace process between Lebanon and Israel, and for Lebanon to join the Abraham Accords because, one, it is ready. Everyone in Lebanon wants to end war, and that's the only way to sustain a ceasefire for a very long term. And the Lebanese street is ready. Peace is no longer taboo, and there will be some dissent, but I would say it's a rare opportunity, and people should start thinking about starting this process between Lebanon and Israel. It's important to do it now.
Okay, just so I summarize, this is how we leverage our funding to accomplish each of these bullets that you've mentioned. It's our leveraging of funding that you're advocating for to make these things happen. In what little time I have left, ma'am.
Two different comments from my colleagues. The first is we risk locking ourselves in a trap of no reconstruction until disarmament is complete of Hezbollah. I think we in the United States can be more nuanced in our policy approach here. If we do not proactively articulate the conditions and what reconstruction, our role and our support package would look like, there's no reason for the Lebanese people to expect more from us, and the risk is that they think we are only focused on Hezbollah's disarmament. So we don't need to pledge assistance and start transferring it now, but we can articulate the conditions and our expectations for what our support for reconstruction, our advocacy with international financial institutions, and our willingness to convene other external actors that are also interested in Lebanon's reconstruction. And secondly, expand the U.S. policy team. We've had a rotation of different U.S. Senior envoys, all of which have done very important work. The current U.S. ambassador in Beirut, Michael Issa, is doing very important work. But what we need right now is technical assistance experts, diplomats, the very people that are not working and empowered to do their jobs in the State Department and the dismantled U.S. Agency for International Development.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
Thank you, Representative Latimer.